The Ayyappa temple at Sabarimala is in the Periyar Tiger Reserve, which is in the Western Ghat mountain ranges of Kerala. It attracts one of the largest annual pilgrimages in the world, with an estimated over 100 million devotees visiting every year. It is believed that a few thousand years before Christ, Lord Parasurama himself completed the pratishta of this deity. The story goes as follows. Ayyappa was adopted as a child by the Pandalam Raja. As a teenager, he killed the demon Mahishi, fulfilling the purpose of his avatar. He then chose Sabarimala as his abode and chose to perform tapasya as a celibate. The unique nature of a devotee's pilgrimage to Ayyappa at Sabarimala is the traditional observance of a rigorous 41-day vrat, during which the devotee gives up all worldly pleasures and vasanas. This qualifies the devotee to merge into the deity's rupam or form at the culmination of the long trek to the temple, after climbing the 18 sacred steps which are meant to be used only by those who have strictly observed the vratam. Each step reflects a milestone in achieving mastery over the self and to become one with the Lord, as mentioned in the temple entrance, Tattvamasi. Sabarimala welcomes people of all religions. There is absolutely no class, caste or other discrimination at Sabarimala. Every devotee who visits the temple is called a Swami or Ayyappa. In fact, the Guru Swami who leads the first-time devotees to the temple may be of the lowest social strata, and his followers may be all higher social strata. This is quite noteworthy. There is no ban on women entering the temple, only age restrictions. Women in the childbearing ages between 10 and 50 do not enter the temple in deference and respect to the deity's wishes, because he is consecrated here as Naishtika Brahmachari or a celibate and a yogi. The Supreme Court has ruled that women of all ages must be allowed to enter the temple at Sabarimala. The 4-1 verdict said that the temple's rules violate women's rights to equality and the right to worship. In doing so, the court completely disregarded the entire tradition and history and the faith of the devotees for which the temple exists in the first place. The only female judge on this case was Indu Malhotra, and she voted against the ruling. The Supreme Court ruling was based on a petition filed in 2006 by Indian Young Lawyers Association on the grounds that a previous High Court ruling upholding the age restrictions violates the freedom to follow and propagate religion listed in Article 25 of the Indian Constitution. It may be noted that none of the persons who filed this litigation is a devotee of Ayyappa, nor do they belong to Kerala. They are determined to destroy the sanctity of the rituals and practices of this temple. They presented the case as a gender equality issue, which was falsely reported by media as a menstruation issue. The court verdict is a prime example of judicial overreach and activism. The retiring Supreme Court Chief Justice Deepak Mishra engaged in a populist, headline-grabbing ruling instead of taking all aspects of this issue into cognizance. The court did not take note of the fact that every Hindu temple has unique traditions, that there cannot be one universal code of worship for all Hindu temples, that a Hindu temple is not a public place. The devotees, followers and experts on the tradition were never consulted. After the verdict, the leftist government of Kerala showed irresponsibility in the way it carried out the verdict, while there are other rulings it has not even acted upon. The state government issued orders to the police that turned Sabarimala into a war zone. The government and police actively encouraged and abetted the repeated and provocative attempts by feminists who abused the deity to enter the temple just to bring down the tradition. The devotees resorted to peacefully chanting the Lord's name, pleading with the activists in an effort to protect their tradition. The police dealt with the devotees in a very heavy-handed way. They locked restrooms and water facilities at the most crowded places, making it impossible for devotees to stay back for morning darshan. There are heartbreaking visuals of the elderly and children confined in inhuman spaces surrounded by filth, sewage, and pigs. The police then detained them in large numbers under inhuman conditions and arrested approximately 6,000 devotees improperly. The state government and police are in gross violation of human rights. Millions of distraught devotees, men and women, especially young women, joined hands to form a 700-kilometer long Ayyappa Jyoti in protest to express solidarity with the tradition. These were deliberately not reported by media and were ignored by the government. In the USA, Save Sabarimala USA was created as a movement by over 50 Hindu organizations actively supporting the cause, helping raise funds for legal assistance to those unfairly arrested and their families. Christian evangelical forces supported by the communist government have brokered massive land deals around Sabarimala. Their business plan is to build an airport and turn Sabarimala into a tourist destination. But the media is representing this as a gender discrimination issue. Temples of Kerala need to be freed from the oppressive Temple Devaswam Board and from interference by the state. This interference by the state is discriminatory because it does not attempt to do the same to churches and mosques. The Breaking India forces are becoming pervasive and are actively attacking Hindu traditions. Sabarimala is the latest target of these forces. There is no telling which Hindu icon or tradition may become the next target. Could the Padmanabh Swami temple with its huge gold vaults be next? There is no telling which Hindu icon or tradition may become the next target.